What up? What up? What up? It's Tyson for free. I'm an artist from St. Louis, Missouri, and you looking at your screen like, wait, well, is it? Is this nigga playing the game? Is he playing the game right now? What is he doing? Uh, no, I'm not playing the game. Well, I'm playing the game that you see in the background, but the video is not about game. It's not actually just specifically about games. All right. So, in this video, I wanted to try something different. I want to try something new. So today, I'm not gonna be playing. I recorded some gameplay to put in the background, but there's also going to be a drawing to go along with it. Yes, sir. So I wanted to do this thing where, so this will probably be the beginning of this series. I wanted to do this thing where I play a game. I play tons of games, but I want to do some that I've recently played and completed, and then I want to make a drawing to represent it, basically. So I got this idea honestly years ago. That's honestly what I wanted to start doing with my channel at first, because I wanted to do gaming videos at first with my channel, but then I was like, no, I'm way more into art. But then I was like, dang, I'm a gamer too. And then I was like, why don't I just put it together? So that's what I'm doing right now. I got both of them at the same time. So now you got gameplay in the background. You see the gameplay in the background, and you finna get a drawing that's a 2-for-1 special. All right, that's two for one, two for the price of one. Okay, so let's get into the game. So the game that you see right now that's playing in the background is Indivisible. All right, Indivisible is an action role-playing platform game. All right, this game came out back in October 2019. Now I was following this game for like hellas, like back when they like released a Patreon. I was too broke at the time to support it, but I did like retweet the Patreon and stuff like that, hoping people would like get on board with it, because it looked amazing. Like the art and the game style looked pretty cool, and I like RPGs, so you know I had to give my support for that. But it got fully backed, like it got all the funds it needed, and it came out in October 2019, and it dropped for $40. I didn't get it for the 40 ball back when it dropped. I didn't have the money, again, like I just didn't see a reason to purchase it. But it did go on Game Pass around January, Xbox Game Pass around January, so I was able to try it out for myself. I'm not gonna lie, I played it for a good some of the first like third of the game, and then I got off, and which I'll explain later. But it took me hellas to get back on. Come back about literally last week, I hopped back on the game. This is now June, and I beat it, and I wish I had played it all the way through when I first did it, but I'll get to why I didn't. Just to sum it all up, I loved the story. I thought it was fire. I thought it was pretty cool. I thought the characters were interesting for the most part, most of them. Not all of them, but for the most part, most of them. I didn't like Ajna, who is the main character. I didn't like her at first, but honestly, like if I really take time to think about her character and stuff like that, her character makes sense. Okay, her character makes sense. I'm gonna just read the plot that's on Wikipedia, so I'm not just coming up with shit. The game follows the story of Ajna, a good-natured tomboy with a rebellious streak whose life is thrown into disarray when an attack of an army under the command of a warlord named Ravanavar burns her village to the ground and kills her father. During the chaos, Ajna awakens a mysterious ability to absorb certain individuals known as incarnations into her being. She embarks on a journey across the world to confront Ravanavar while learning the truth behind her mysterious powers. During her quest, she is joined by a variety of unique heroes, gaining new abilities. Some just popped up on my laptop screen. Jeez Louise, what is going on? Oh my god, bruh. Some just popped up over my, hold on y'all, give me a second. Alright, we back. So yeah, basically it's an RPG. You get new allies along the way and stuff like that. You learn a little bit of their stories. They join you along the adventure, and that's when the RPG elements comes along. As you can see on screen, I have 4 different players. The roster is pretty big. I didn't even get every character by the end of the game, but the roster is pretty big, and a lot of them are cool. I will say I didn't really care much about using the healers, since Ajna can revive her teammates if you fill up the ED bar at the top left. You literally can just revive your teammates if they go down. I guess if you're a perfectionist and you don't want to lose them at all, you know, like go through fights without losing health at all, you can do that. But honestly, if you get your defense up, you're blocking right, and you got Ajna on your team, like you don't lose any fights for real. Like, so yeah. Anyway, that's just to sum it up. Now we're gonna get into the drawing aspect here on the screen. So for this drawing, I had a few ideas in mind of how I was gonna approach this. Originally, I was gonna have Ajna and a few of her close companions that you can have with her in the game behind her. Then I was gonna do Ajna like staring off into the front, and then there was gonna be like 3 forms of her behind her, because she has different forms that you can unlock throughout the story when you get new moves and stuff like that for traversing the map, because it's still a platformer. It still has platformer aspects. So you switch between the RPG fighting and then the platforming that you get around the map with. But then I was like, you know what? Ajna kind of reminds me a little bit, and I'm not trying to be like one of those guys, oh man, you know, this kind of like, no. Ajna's, the aesthetic wise, kind of reminds me of how I'm approaching Spirit Society, my webtoon. I didn't mean to plug that in there like that, but it honestly did. Just the way she looks and the way the world is around her, it kind of reminds me of the way I set up Spirit Society for myself, aesthetic wise. And so I was like, you know what? She doesn't technically have this, but I thought of her, you know, in the air, flowing through some smoke, and there's like these big hands that she can control. Because at the end of the game, I don't want to spoil too much, she basically ascends. You know what I'm saying? She basically ascends. And so I thought, you know, maybe since she's got like the spiritual powers that she's connected to. She's connected to this goddess called Kala, which is basically the greater goddess. She controls everything. She can create everything, type stuff like that. And so that's what I thought of when I was going into this. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna just make something that's familiar to me with Spirit Society, and so that's how I approached it. So right here is what I'm doing. My character in Spirit Society, Asura. I changed his name from Asura to Asura. I'll do that in another video. But he and his brother are connected spiritually, and so that means his brothers, as a spirit form, can use his arms, his hands, to help Asura fight, basically. And so I was like, you know what? That'd be pretty cool if and it's even cooler because both of their names start with A. It'd be pretty cool if Ajna could use the power of the goddess Kala to fight, basically. And that's not canon, by the way. This is just head canon. I thought it'd be pretty cool, but spoiler alert, that didn't actually happen. So anyway, I thought it'd be pretty cool if she could use the god Kala to fight. And so I gave her these big hands that are like coming out of this red smoke that she has command over, basically. So it was just one of those cool things. I thought it was pretty neat that she kind of like has this spiritual essence to it, this spiritual aesthetic to it. It was pretty awesome. So that was one of my favorite things about the game, aesthetic wise. A lot of people didn't like the characters and stuff like that. I had some of my favorites, but a lot of people did not like Ajna. I thought Ajna was a pretty reasonable character. She was very young. She's very naive. I don't expect young, naive characters to be perfect, and you shouldn't be. Shouldn't expect a young character to be perfect. So that's why she's one of my favorite characters. She's also a person of color. Like, come on now, she's got color on. She's colored, man. She's colored, man. That's fire. You're automatically gonna be one of my favorite characters if you're colored. That's just how I am. Woohoo! I don't care how people feel. It's just how I am. So yeah. And here's a little quickie of me doing the smoke in the background because I forgot to record it apparently. So yeah. And of course, some slideshows of the final piece. This is how it came out. Honestly, I'm just gonna say it right here. This is one of the best illustrations I've ever done. And I'm so glad that it was this game in particularly, because after I finished it, I was just going through withdrawals. I wanted more content so bad, but that's how games go, man. So I just want to give a thank you to everybody who's been supporting me recently, man. A special thank you to my patrons. This is going to be full illustration. Is going to be available for you to download, HD and everything, perfect quality, all yours to download. You can set it as your wallpaper, do whatever you want. Everybody else, thank you so much for your support. I appreciate it. To my patrons, for real, thank you so much. You took that extra step to put money into me. Y'all put money in me like I'm a bank or something. Like I'm a piggy bank. This ain't no OnlyFans. This Patreon. Y'all ain't finna see no pictures of me, man. Why y'all putting money down? I'm just playing, but no, for real though. Thank you so much for everything. I'm gonna be as consistent as possible. I'm gonna get my Patreons what they want. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna get everybody what they want. I'm about to jump out of a window though, so